Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I am back with a quick share of my planner rehaul. So many of you guys know, or overhaul, many of you guys know that I have had certain planners I've planned in, I plan to continue in, and then there are some that just aren't working for me. And it's not that they're bad planners, it's just the way my brain works right now. And they've worked well in the past, they're just not right now. And I'm okay with that. I think going to the Planner Delight Conference was a great option for me to think through, see every planner just about under the sun, which I thought I was familiar with most of them, but it was great to see things I hadn't seen before. And yeah, I mean, I've been using a planner since 1990, probably since the 80s. And way back then, I had one, and I've shared before that a friend made me in a notebook. I wonder where that is. I have it still. And it was just a little bitty, tiny 3-ring binder, and she made it for me like a faith planner. And it really changed my way of thinking, and I loved how she did it, and it was made with such love. And when I look back at it, it's just so basic, but it was wonderful. And then, of course, I went into day timers because of work, and I mean, I took copious notes. When you are an administrator of a school, you have to take copious notes. And one of the schools I administrated, I was working for 2 attorneys that required copious note taking. So it became a very big part of who I was. And then when I resigned, when I had fulfilled my contract, and anyways, I was pregnant with our second child, which we unfortunately ended up losing. I had a teaching job lined up, but my husband looked at me and said, just stay home. Just stay home with the baby. We weren't supposed to be able to have her, if you know, and I agreed with him. I said, if this is what God gives us, I am so thrilled, and we are so blessed. So I stayed home, and I was with my child, and I quit kind of using a planner. And then my husband started using a planner. They sent him off to all the, the work-related corporate planning type training. And he came home and he's like, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to make a list, and you need to cross this off. And I think for him, though he didn't quite know how to say at that time, which we're all young, and it was basically I needed to see a plan and a completion list. It was huge in my brain because once we lost that baby, it was devastating. I mourned for a year, and that's just the way it was. I mean, I still function. I took my youngest one, or at that time, our daughter. She's our oldest now, but at the time, I took our daughter to the library. We were involved in Mother's Day Out. We went to church. We did all those things. We did all those things and more. And we traveled to see my parents pretty regularly because of a contract my husband was working on in their town in South Texas. And so we would just go down and stay with them. And he was working on that when I was working too. So, I mean, this had been a long process, this contract. And he worked on it for years and years and years. It was such a blessing. But, so we literally cut our income in half. I came home, and I was in a weird, funky state of mind. So my husband kind of stepped in and said, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you write a list, put it on the corkboard, and, check it off? And, because he would come home and he would say, well, how was your day? And I'd be like, fine. What'd you do? Oh, not much. I was really not very conversational at that time in my life. And I know, shocking, right? But anyway, so long story short, I had been using planners. I knew the benefit of planners. And at that time in my life, I thought, well, there's nothing to plan. I'm not working. I'm here with the baby. All we do is we go where my husband needs to go, and how hard is that? So over time, it got busy. Life got busy. I started working part-time. We went ahead. My husband wanted to try again. I was like, no, 2 horrible pregnancies, no. Well, we went ahead and tried, and we have our son, of course. And all of a sudden, life got busy. And it was like, I can't keep all this straight. 2 kids, 2 different programs, 2 different sets of needs, plus my husband, plus travel, plus I was working part-time. And I was just, totally like, wow, what do I do next? And then I realized, oh my goodness, I need to go back to a planner again. I didn't want to go back to a day timer. That was yucko. It was just yucko. But I had gone to a homeschooling conference because at about 2 years old, my husband came to me. Our oldest was 2 years old. And he said, will you pray about homeschooling? I was like, you're out of your mind. I'm going to teach. She's going to be in another classroom. We're going to be in a private school, Christian school. We'll be fine. So at that time, our son wasn't born yet. And I was just like, no, 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 no. And I was a total classroom advocate. I loved teaching. My mother was a teacher. My father-in-law, it was just very entrenched in our families. And I'd always wanted to teach. That was where my head was at. I always wanted to work with children. And then when he said that, I said, oh no. And I realized then that in every Mother's Day out, they were bumping our oldest ahead, sometimes 2 or 3 levels above her, because she was driving the teachers crazy because she wanted information. She wanted information. She wanted information. So I went and visited at that time it was a small office in San Antonio, and it was Family Educators Alliance of South Texas, FEAST. And I started looking through their curriculum, and I picked a couple of things up, and I thought, because she was doing the typical, like preschool, little books you could get at, Walmart or wherever you would pick them up back then. And, of course, I had all my materials from teaching in college, and so, whereas I was a bit more creative in how she played. The thought was, everything is an opportunity to learn. Let's, and it wasn't like, you need to learn. It was like, would you like to? And yes, she wanted to, yes. So anyways, then I went to a homeschool conference and they introduced the Franklin Planner. Man, it was a beast. And it was expensive. And I thought, this is what I need. A girlfriend went with me. She was at that time she was finishing up her degree in education. And we'd had a very unusual thing happen in our church. And so my head was everywhere. You know what, guys? I don't think you're straight. I'm sorry. Okay, I hope that's better. Sorry, didn't mean to mess with you guys. Sorry. I adjusted that like 10 times before we got started. My apologies. But she was very pro classroom. And I remember when she came to me and brought up homeschooling, and I was like, oh no, you need to put those kids in the classroom. Yeah, I was such an opinionated person. And, I just kind of told her, said, I want to go to this because I want to think about this and pray about this. So we did. I came home with the Franklin Planner. So you come home with a planner, and then you come home with stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of papers. And, we didn't have YouTube back then. So then I had to sit down and try to figure out how I'm going to put this together and how I'm going to best utilize it. Sorry, my daughter's making this our lunch. And anyways, I was just like, how do I do this? So, I pursued on, I pushed through, so I got that planner set up. I don't even know if I still have that planner. I think I gave it away. But it was an investment, and my husband had been going to classes where they came home with these, huge portfolio type, planners, and anyways, and so I was like, okay, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it, I just need to get focused. And it was great, but I felt like it was too structured, and I needed freedom. So from there, I tried all kinds of things. I tried things I got free in the mail or things I paid for through ministries. So this is my Johnny Erickson Tata planner. I have not started using it yet, but this is one that I'm going to use it more for journaling than planning. But I love it. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to kind of go through things. Then I found, the typical, Erin Condren, which, I loved it. I mean, I had Erin Condren when it first came out. I had the vertical. This is the horizontal. I have been using this for my YouTube channel and, kind of like my social type things. And there's too much freedom in this right now for me. And there's nothing wrong with this. This would have been a better journaling planner for me. So I'm going to put this to the side for like a month or two and then pull it back out. It's a great planner. And one of the things about Erin Condren and their spiral bound is that you can customize it. You can go in and say, I want this and I want that and I want this kind of pages and I want that kind of color and all that good stuff. So this was wonderful. I mean, you could get the rose gold here. I could do whatever I wanted. I love this. And they're super, 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 super sweet in their Austin, Texas store. Hands down. Then there was this, which is like a typical Erin Condren planner, which is a vertical. Wait, let me go to some blank pages so you can see it better. And this I got on sale, clearance at Hobby Lobby, which I noticed it, in January or December they were selling this for full price again. So this is just a typical vertical planner. And this has been great for my work planner, but I'm retiring it. I know, it's killing me. And I may come back to it, but for right now, I need to let this go because I am trying to essentially eliminate this planner. Completely eliminate it. But, just so you know, it did come with stickers in the back and a place for notes and a pocket. And I am going to take this out, just like I did my Erin Condren. And, because it came with stickers as well. And I'm going to put this over in a pile that I have. Then I'm just going to put it straight into sticker usage because these are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Okay, that is that. The only thing I don't have with me is my mini petite, but and I don't have one of my traveler's notebooks with me. I'm looking to see if I do, but I don't. Okay, so I went from that into basically this type of planner, which this is a happy planner. It is a disc bound. I started off with ARC. Do you guys remember the ARC planners in the early days? So I went to that and I liked it, but I did not like the hard covers. Now either you love the hard covers or you don't like them. I didn't like them. Number one, it just added, it took away from what I could put in it. And number two, it was, to me, it made it heavier. And because of arthritis and broken hands and arms and all that kind of stuff and shoulders, I don't gravitate to things that are too heavy. And I have to be honest because I have bad knees. Even bringing groceries in the house, if I carry too many bags, my knees hurt. So everything counts when it comes to picking up things with weight. So I went to this. And this, of course, is the Amy Tan. It is a vertical planner, and this was Amy Tangerine's box kit that came out, and it was, I think it was Choose Happy, and from the Happy Planner. I've loved this planner. I would never normally gravitate to these rings or to these colors, but because I've been so blessed to meet Amy Tangerine, and when things were so sad, I would watch her on YouTube, and she was just pure joy to me. And even in person, we talked about that, and because she was so gracious to have a little bit of time with everybody who was there, and she was gracious enough to put me in her video from the Erin Condren event. And all I can say in this, and there were, everybody was lined up, everybody, sat and talked with her. The thing I can say about this is I do love the encouragement. I love the make, do, dream, create, share, thrive, grow, believe, love, connect, live, give, heal, go. And because I needed and have needed such healing, the bright colors and the metallics and all those things, and I added in a pocket here. I put in the dash that came with it, gratitude turns what we have into enough. All of these things, and I've added in my extra cards, for the monthlies and then the weeklies and all that good stuff. All I can say right now is I've learned to re-love this planner. I love the disc bound style. I love it because it is so easy, even to pull things like this in and out. It's easy. It's easy to change out my covers if I want to. It's easy to change out the order. It's easy to add extra things in. It's easy to remove paper and put it back in. I tear the paper sometimes. I haven't quite gotten that quite yet. I have room for extra paper in the back. I have a pocket here. I put a lot of my goodies in here, and I have another pocket back here. And, I just can't say enough. I don't remember what it came with. If it had all the pockets, it did come with this dash right here. and I think it's gorgeous. So needless to say, you can add or take away, or you can add multiple things in here, and I love that. And this is probably my second or third year to Franken plan. And I did this before I'd ever heard anybody talk about it. I would combine different things. Like I would put my wellness, my faith. I would put everything in one planner. So this year I continued in this one. This was my catch-all planner for the whole house. But I added some other things that some took the place of what I took out, and some just changed what I was doing. So this, whoops, is my work planner now. So if you think about what I'm going to say, you'll understand my mindset. So to me, this is pretty, this is lovely, this is ladylike, and I know that's an old-fashioned term, but it just reminds me of those things that are just pretty and lovely. And I don't want to work anymore in this area. I want to be done. And I have some very basic, simple things to get done, and I haven't done it yet. And that means the practice, the partnership, the estate. And I just decided that I was going to put something in here that says, make today a good day, an encouragement. I wish they still sold those cards. I found them on Amazon, which is very unusual, and I've got to put my name in it and everything. But, so for me, I've got, a place where I can make notes, I can set goals, I can move this from, week to week, I can just work through it this way. I'm not using expensive stickers in it so far. I just use the ones from the Dollar Tree, and I'm trying to work my way out of this planner. Now, this is gorgeous, and I will use this again. Even if I'm not working anymore, I will use this for other things. And more than likely, we'll always have some level of tax practice. My husband made a promise to me that he was going to let it all go. But in his words, he already did all the hard work. He went back. He went through all the previous tax returns. Everything's set up now. Everything computer-wise is set up. Just on and on and on. So at this point in the game, I'm sure we'll have some level of work, whether it be a tax practice, whether it be a computer consultant, whether it be an IT consultant, which is the same thing essentially, but, corporate or private is what I see the difference in those. I think right now there will always be something that will be work-related, that will be tied to my husband, and that's just how we're going to do it. We put an office out here on the property for him. And yeah, we are nowhere near 100% set up in anything, but at least we have an office there. At least people are able to come in and out now. We built a makeshift ramp for me, which I want rails on it before, April 15th or, the week of, or a month prior, when people bring us their returns, and their paperwork and all of that. But, yeah, we'll always have this. I'll always be using this for something. Now, okay, I'm going to watch my time. I don't want to get too long-winded, like I can do. Okay, I had pulled another one out. What did I do with that one? Silly me. Okay. I have one right here with me. Okay, I'm just going to jump into this one, and hopefully the other one will jump out at me. So, and I'm going to close this because I've been working on it. That was my devotional, and that I do in the mornings. This is my faith planner. I could add it into my catch-all planner, but I didn't want to, and I will tell you why. When I go to church, it is so easy to flip over and start planning. Like, oh, when I in work, I need to get this done this week and that done, because my mind can wander. I'm honest. I don't think I'm alone when you sit in church or Bible study. We all do things like that. So the only thing I've allowed myself to have in here is one of these short lists. So if there's a break and I'm thinking, ooh, I need to make sure we do that, or these little sticky notes. But, yeah. And pretty soon this will have everybody's name on it. I'll be praying for you. But this is how I use this. So, you can see I was just getting started this week, but I am doing my devotional. This is the scripture, and then my thoughts on the scripture. So, and then I have, and I only have 3 months in here, January, February, March. And then I have a dashboard. And then I have like prayers and praise type things I could fill out and use if I felt so led. And our Bible study doesn't start till Monday, so it will probably get used quickly. There's sermon notes, study notes. This came in some kind of a kit. It's all happy planner. Have a little faith. I love these. And then you see the back, you know, the daily reading, daily prayer, daily gratitude, God, others, me, and our prayer list, blessings this week, so grateful for. And I think these are awesome tools. I really do. I think they're amazing. I think they're God-given to us, and I think it's great. Then I just have plain notebook paper and more plain notebook paper. So that is set up. All that paper there is for when I go to Bible study, which we take copious notes. I mean, pages of notes per week. Our leader is so brilliant, and our teacher, and she just leaves us with, we walk in with one perspective and we walk out with another. Not that that's good or bad. It's thought-provoking. She doesn't try to, you know, she's not there to indoctrinate us in what she believes. She's there to show you information. And then from that, you take it home, and then you weigh it out with what you thought, what's been presented, what are the different things, and then you're able to formulate your own, you know, thoughts on what Scripture was talking about in that particular passage. So I have another one, Cultivate the Habit of Being Grateful. So I put more of these little cards in. I have a divider because here are my gratitude pages. I have not started using this yet because I was going to do a gratitude journal. But I think I'm just going to flip all that in here, and I'm just going to have it here, and this is going to be my gratitude journal. Okay, so this is just more dashboards. I really like the dashboards because they help you divide out. And I need to go back and put labels on there. It would just be more helpful to me. So now here is the next planner that I incorporated. So this is another planner that I've put two planners together, and in the middle I've added the pages that I want to use. So in this one is where I write my prayers to God, and I love it. So this is just a horizontal planner, okay? So as we go through these things in life, I loved my first faith planner with Happy Planner, and because it was horizontal. I also loved that when I went into Bible study that week, I could pop it in. So probably I will pop Bible study in up in here, in this particular section, because that's my devotional study section. I mean, I may just make a separate spot for it. I don't know. But I really love it. I love the fact that I can go to bed at night and just write. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes writing our prayers to God is so, it just makes things like real, gain perspective. You know, sometimes seeing things in black and white, and you just kind of look at that and go, wow, that really wasn't that big of a deal, was it? Or, wow, I really need to pay attention to that more than I thought I did. You know, that kind of a thing. So I love a horizontal planner for writing. The soap method is great, but I just can't get into it. I just can't. I have to be honest. So that's what that is. So I only have January, February, March in here of that. I have a pocket. This just was one of the miscellaneous kits that I had. I think it's the Glam or I don't know. Anyways, so hello, gorgeous. Anyways, that's all there. And I just wanted pockets to put things in. So that is my faith planner. Now, I did pick up this one thinking I would use this as my social media planner. It is a teacher's planner, but I've decided I'm going to give this to my daughter-in-law who's a teacher. She it's her first year of teaching. It's very busy for her, so I want to come in and and I had even gone in here and started putting sticky notes down as to how I would use it, you know, like, and I can take these right up, you know, the different sections, and then I would do the days across the top. But I think I'm going to give this to her, and I think I'm going to decorate like a month or two for her. So all she has to do is come in and write. And then I'm going to give her a pouch of goodies and let her decorate it however she wants, because she's incredibly artistic. So this planner goes through August, and that's it. So I added the other ones towards the back, and I may just take those out. And then I have with it the pocket. It was a kit on sale for $12, so you know it was a really good deal. One of the box kits. So these are the sticky notes I was using. I'll take that out. but it came with washi, and I want her to have all that. And I want her to have, it came with stickers, it came with encouragement cards, it came with all that. So I am going to set this up for her. And I love her. I think she'll enjoy this. I think she likes silver, so I'm hoping she will enjoy this. And she has such a heart for her kids, her job, the whole thing. Now, one other thing I'm doing is that I've already shared with you guys, but it kind of falls in the realm of planners, traveler's journals. I am not using traveler's journals for my Bible studies with By the Well for God. I am using just happy notes. I love happy notes. These make me happy because I can take them out. I can put them in. I went through this and I realized I don't want that as my cover page. It's the cover page for that particular Bible study, but I'm going to come back in and literally do that and make a new cover page that will say, you know, my Bible journaling notebook or whatever I want to say. Squeeze the day. I love seize the day. So this worked really well for me. I'm loving using this happy notebook. It is a skinny classic and I love it. Now, last but not least, I have my Skinny Mini. And this Skinny Mini is what I carry in the car. So I use those little those little add-ons, and I wanted encouragement, so I put that in there, and I just folded it down. And yeah, that's that. I need to get my bulb folder and kind of straighten that out. I use the monthly like crazy, and then I do the days. I looked everywhere. I don't necessarily like using paper clips, but this one actually stays in, so it's staying. I got that at the Planner Delight. I had one of these little tiny happy notes, and I just decided I'm going to put it in here, and look at the divider. It works perfectly for me. I can go to my week, I can go to my, you know, extra paper, and then I put some of that little paper here in the back. I saved this off of that, and I think I'm going to take this out because that is just, there's no way to sell. I tried, something I can salvage them. I just couldn't. I tried with knives and everything. I couldn't, you know, to cut it down. But I really love this, and I love that I get to use both of these girls. It's not just like this was the front and this was the back. So I don't know if it was supposed to be that way, but it was on mine when I purchased it. It was all sealed up. So these are my dividers for in here, and I love it because still it fits right down in my purse. It doesn't stick out too much, but it sticks out like a divider would. So I'm good with that. And I just like that little bow because it's just so stinking cute. And then if I need notes, to make little notes when I go to stores, I can just grab one of these, fill it out, stick it in the front or the week I'm on, and take it with me, which I have done many, many times. So that is my 2020 planner lineup. It isn't that it's the smartest or the easiest or the best or the whatever, but it's working for me. And you know, you've just got to go through these things and say, this works, this does not work. This works, this does not work. And I'm good with this. And some people would look at this and say, it's way, 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 way too much. You can consolidate that. Well, I did. I put my social media in here. I've put extra things in here. I've Franken-planned in here. And I will come back with that with one of those planner type pages days. And, you know, share with you how I go through that. But sometimes we can just buy a kit and add it on. Probably this year I will buy a classic size teacher's planner. I will take the guts out and just use that and Franken-plan it in here, and that way I can plan more for YouTube, Instagram, blog. And if you haven't been looking at all those things are kind of joining together for once. It's not perfect yet. I'm not 100% there yet. But I am using my Instagram, my YouTube, and my blog right now. So it's a process. And I'm not 100% there yet because we're still trying to just catch up in life. And but I'm enjoying that. So, all right, friends, this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If any of you are using any of these planners, oh, and I need to add the one in. This one. I am using this one, the Johnny Erickson Tata. If any of you are using any of these, please leave a comment below or share what you're doing. I'd love to hear what you're doing and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So, and in reality, this isn't a planner. Sorry. If I pull that one out, and this one isn't a planner. So I literally